Welcome everybody to another episode of The Street Sheet. Today, a very special guest, one of a very good friend of mine. Maybe I would put you in a close friends list. Like one of those that's like, hey, if I had to pick $1 million or save this person, I might have to pick you. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Nick. We went to college together. That's how
Yes,
we met.
sir. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, we'll just hop into it because right now we're
Yeah.
just chilling. How did you pick St. Francis?
So, because I went to school upstate, in the middle of nowhere, literally the sticks, middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees and like darkness and terribleness, I wanted to go back to the city, and my mom lived in the city, so there was more motivation to come back.
Yeah.
So I came looking for schools. I think it was really they accepted me first, so I kind of was just like, all right, I'll go there.
Yeah. It was like,
That's kind of really how it happened.
Did you ever visit the school?
Yeah, that was. I want to say it was warm out, so it was like spring or something. I remember
Okay.
going there, and
Did
they
you
like
go?
showed me everything.
Oh, so you went to like one of those that they would
Yeah,
bring you around the school?
yeah, and they like took me to the studio. I remember seeing it for the first time, walking in there. I was like, oh, cool, this is a studio. I didn't really know what to think at the time. I had no idea what to really think.
And then it turned out to be like a big part of
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
Did you always have communications in mind?
No, I mean, like I jumped through so many things prior to that. It was like I think I wanted to at one point I wanted to go into like the military, I think at some point, like the Air Force, I think. What else was there? I want to say cooking maybe at one point.
Oh, I feel like everybody's been through
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like there was a bunch of stuff. What was it? I think like design, like art stuff, but I was like, I can't draw.
I feel like that's a big thing. Like everybody always wants to be like an artist at least once in
Yeah.
their life. They'll be like, yeah, you know what? Like they do like maybe one
One good.
drawing or like one good like if
Yeah.
they take like a pottery class and they're like, wow, you know what? I could be an artist because I
You know
did
what
the
it
same
was?
thing.
You know what it was? I just remembered now. I did in high school Carmelo Anthony artwork, and I was like, "This is the best thing I ever did. I should do this.
I can make this a living. I
I
can
could
make
do
this a
this."
living.
And then it's like,
No, yeah, it's like you try to do another one,
yeah,
and
and
then you're
it's like
like, all right, maybe this ain't for me. This might not be for me.
I peaked. That was the peak moment.
So when did you say communications is the thing?
I think it was more like it came from just trying to narrow down stuff. I was like, well, I mean, I was into movies as a kid. I guess. I
Yeah,
guess I'll try that.
I feel you because that's the same way I pick
Uh,
communications. I looked at it more of like, what's something that I could do, get a degree in that's not gonna like overwork me, that I'm not gonna have to stress
yeah,
about. Like I did stress in college. Let me not lie and
yeah.
say, oh, it's easy.
It was
But in my
easy.
mind, it's easier than
Uh,
doing nursing or doing
yeah,
law, doing all this other shit. Communications was like,
yeah,
I'll just it's a major for people that don't know what they want to do. You either do liberal
yeah,
arts or you do communications.
yeah. Because it's like, uh, this is too hard. Like nursing and stuff. It's like, man, you'd be employed through everything no matter what. There's always a need for it,
Exactly.
but it's kind of hard to
To go
do.
through all that schooling is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and then if they're like, you got to hold the kid down to give him the shot, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. This is too much.
Man, hell yeah. I'm terrified of needles myself.
Yeah,
Why would I want to give somebody else something like that? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Especially when they're
So
fighting you.
yeah, facts. So as I know, you're big into music.
Yeah.
When did the love for music start?
Well, it's weird. It's like when I was younger, it was more like, oh, I'll listen to whoever had it on. I didn't really care.
It was like, oh, if the radio's on, I'm listening
Yeah,
to music.
but I wouldn't go out of my way at that time.
Gotcha.
Even then, it's like even at like 9, when I had like a little CD player. Like people know what those are anymore, but
Yeah. I feel like I feel the same way because I had a CD player. It was really like if a CD was around the house, oh, okay, I'll listen to
Yeah.
that. If somebody bought me a CD, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And that's how I got open to so much music. So when did you
yeah.
start deciding, hey, this is what I'm gonna listen to?
Well, it was like, well, okay, so Drake and Josh, that's why I kind of picked up a guitar the first time. The first one was Red, like his in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
so
like that was everybody's dream when that show was on. It was like, yo, that would be so dope just to write music and play guitar.
yeah.
So
It's like
it all runs back to Drake and Josh.
everything comes back to it at the end of the
That's
day.
wild. That's
It's
wild.
like, I mean, I wanted to play drums at first, but it's like I lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure I probably would have just annoyed my mom, like just trying to just
Just
banging on
banging
things
on
like
them.
that, making mad noise.
Facts.
And then I did lessons on and off for years. What was it? I think I learned my first song in 7th grade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then another one maybe a couple of years after that. And then I kind of put my guitar down for like 3 years. Didn't pick it back up till
Oh
senior year in high school.
oh really? You just were
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm okay.
Yeah, because it was like one of those, this was cool. All right. I just put it down on the
Yeah.
side. And then I don't know what it was in senior year, what made me pick it back up again.
That
I
was my
really
next
don't know.
question. What was the reason?
I don't know, actually. I don't remember exactly when I think it was at the start of senior year. I
You just
picked it
had an
back
itch
up.
for it?
Maybe it was something like that. I don't know what exactly it was.
Now
It's
for
weird.
now for someone that doesn't play an instrument, is that
Yeah.
is that a skill that, like you said, you put it down for 30 years? Are you able just to pick it up and play a song that you
I
know
actually could.
already?
I remembered how to
Really?
play it. Yeah, all those years later. I think I only needed to look up how to like one part of it or something like that, but it came back like quickly,
Wow.
despite only knowing one thing. It was
That's
weird.
that's insane. Especially
Yeah.
that you didn't do it for so long. You never like
Yeah.
not even just like, oh, let me just play this. You really like put it down and then
Yeah.
picked it up and just
It's
boom,
sat.
went back at it.
Yeah. It sat for a while. Like I think like the strings hadn't been changed in probably 6 years. It was sitting that long.
Wow.
So, and I didn't know how to do it anyway. So it's like if it broke at the time, I
Yeah.
was just like, help.
Okay. Take it to one of those music stores. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I took it. Well, I remember when I first started playing it again, it broke. I took it in. I was like, can you show me how to do this? And the guy showed me. So I just started doing it on my own from there.
Oh, you learned just from one time. Just
Yeah,
I got this.
the string thing. Once I saw how he did it at like the post at the top, I was like, oh, I'll get it. I think I could do that.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But it's like I picked it back up and then I had to teach myself everything from there. I didn't have like a teacher anymore. I was in 7th grade only. He showed me one song and that was it.
Oh, so like what you know now is just from you teaching yourself.
Yeah.
Now, how did you teach yourself? Like on like watching videos or just sitting there in your room just learning?
That the video thing I feel like is more now. I could look at a video and know what their hands are doing.
Kind of mimic it.
Yeah, back then I was just looking up like the notes online and stuff for it.
Okay.
And then figuring it out slowly. Sometimes really bad. Like there's some songs I had to break habits in because I was playing it so wrong because I didn't realize it at the time a couple of years ago. And then I corrected myself.
Well, as long as you corrected yourself and now you know, all right, this is what I gotta do. Now, senior year, were you ever like in a band?
No, I never got the chance to be. And it's like now I want to find a group of people.
Now you're trying to find a band.
Yeah, but it's like difficult because it's like when I don't want to say I want to be a dictator, but it's like I wrote these this way.
And this is how it's gonna go.
It's like some of them I'm lenient with changing, but some of them it's like, no, you cannot touch them at all. Leave them.
Like they're perfect to you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like done. Other than it missing like, other instruments.
Okay. I know during quarantine you decided to put a couple of music on SoundCloud. Yeah. And it was under Wraith. Yeah. See, even though we talked about it before, I knew I was gonna say it wrong. Wraith. And out of nowhere, because you just posted, I was like, oh, I wonder what he's doing on SoundCloud. Like, what is this? Press play. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty dope. Like, this is actually nice. And it's funny because we know, like, a couple of people that
Yeah.
play guitar and are always like wanting to play or talking about it, and you don't really
Yeah.
talk about it. And then it wasn't until really senior year, like we knew each other most of college,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah. I had a class with you in freshman year.
Yeah. Like we
Yeah.
weren't like consistent until maybe the end of junior year into senior
Yeah.
year, but like we always had classes together because
Yeah.
started at the same time, communications, we had to
Yeah.
take the core classes and shit like that.
Yeah.
But never knew you played until then. And then
Oh,
one day you brought it in and you were playing in the
I
theater, and
did.
I was like,
Oh
this
yeah, I
kid is
did.
dope.
I did do that. I remember
You
that
see,
now.
you
Yeah.
see? Yeah. So when you put that up, I was like, ooh, he's going with it now. He's going with it. So now,
Yeah.
have you had any luck finding people?
There was somebody I was talking to through Craigslist, and this would suck if he heard this because, like, I haven't replied to him. I actually forgot until earlier today. I was like, oh shit, he asked me if I wanted to jam. I forgot about that.
No, I just left him on red.
Yeah, and I kind of feel bad because it's been like 3 days, and I'm like, I guess I'll just tell him I got busy with stuff, which is
My
also
bad.
kind of true.
Be like, sorry, my guy.
Yeah.
Had some stuff to do. But so now you're on the look. Like is this what you want to do?
I mean, it would be pretty dope to do it. Just like I mean, I think I have a few. When I look at the views, I'm like, these got the most listens. So it's like I know the ones that have more, I guess, I don't know the word for it,
Like
popularity or
yeah.
something like
Yeah,
that.
like people
More interest in that one.
yeah, they I'm trying to think of the word too.
Yeah.
I can't really think of it. Like they fucking like it. Let's just say that they fucking
That
like
works.
It's 12 o'clock at night. Like we
Yeah.
can't remember
Yeah.
words right now. But you never know, man. Put up a podcast. Maybe some people will be like, yo, looking to start a band.
Yeah. I mean,
have you written songs?
I have like 17
Oh,
done. Yeah.
how is that writing a song? Like, is it tough?
So I mean, well, sometimes at first specifically it was hard. Like it was more like I don't know what I'm doing, but I have this thing that sounds cool, so I'll just keep playing around with it and trying to like stitch stuff together. And some of the early stuff I did, that's why I'm like, I would like somebody to come in and maybe with fresher ears and change stuff because it's like very stitched together for me.
Okay.
Because it was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And same thing with writing a solo. It was like weird. I didn't know what I was doing.
I've always wondered that doing solos, how that is.
I'll be real. I just improvise a bunch of times till I find like a bunch of stuff that sounds good, and then I kind of piece them together. It works for me. Some people really write it out, but I don't know how to. I don't really know how to do that. But
it's also kind of like you kind of just go with the flow of it. Like whatever sounds good.
Yeah,
it makes it in.
There's a few that where it was like, I think I was playing it. I was like, all right, the solo goes here. I'm gonna go do it, and I just knew what to play, and it was like first take was pretty much it. I just redid it to get it like so there was no roughness in it.
Yeah.
It was like from the start, I just knew what to do with it.
Wow, that's interesting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I've always wondered, like, you hear all these songs, they have the solos, and then all these songs that people just write, just like coming out with songs one after the other. And it's like, that's kind of tough to do.
Yeah.
Like just to sit down and write one song.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about that really too much. It was just kind of like happened. Okay,
I feel you. Have you ever like taken a class or watched videos on how to write a song, or have you just dove into it?
It's kind of I usually how I do it. I'll be watching TV and I'll just sit there with like really this acoustic. It's always next to me really because it's easier to like record on the phone. The audio it'll pick it up really clear.
Yeah.
So I kind of sit around with that and just mess around.
And like if you think of something, you just grab it. And
well, it's not even I think of something. I just sit there with it and I just doodle around on it till I find something that sounds good. And then I'm like, oh, perfect.
Oh, wow.
Let me record this on my phone for later.
That's crazy.
That's usually how I do it.
Wow. You see, this is why I like talking to people that do different things because I find out new stuff like this. Like I thought most of the time, if like you want to play guitar, you want like, and trying to write a song or trying to write, uh, um, fuck, a fucking solo, you
Yeah,
actually sit there and write it down, or you try to play, you actually don't go with the flow or just look for something
I
that sounds
think
good. And
I
that
could
might
be
not be
wrong.
everybody, but that's how
Yeah,
you do it.
I
And it
could be
works.
wrong, but I think classical music's very sit and write it down.
Oh, yeah, most likely.
Right? Yeah,
I would say yes. I would
yeah.
say
And
most
I'm pretty
likely.
sure my stuff isn't like in music theory, like it's like not in like theoretically sound, but I'm like, it works. It sounds fine. I don't care.
Exactly. Yeah. And for now, like what you say, you've written 17 songs. You know what I
Something
mean?
like
So
that.
it's like
Yeah.
you're still brand new to the game.
Well,
It's
it's
not.
funny is the newer stuff I've been doing. I'm like, this is so much better. I don't even want the old stuff anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not rough and like weird.
Oh, I feel you, bro. Because there's times that like I'll listen to like old podcasts I used to do with
Yeah.
Manny or old stuff we did at
Yeah.
SFC Radio. I'm just like,
What was I doing?
this shit's crazy. Like even now, like I do stuff, I'll be like, this is my best interview. But I know that like in a
Yeah.
couple interviews, I'll be like, that
I
shit's
did better.
trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so about
Yeah.
bettering yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's artists out there that have to go up on a stage and sing a song that they fucking hate with
Yeah.
their guts
Yeah. I
because
mean,
and it just popped up. Like I feel like for some reason, because I've heard like interviews and stuff, and they
yeah.
always talk about how the song that they hate the most is the one that pops off for them.
Because you have to play it all the time. You always have to play it.
You're known for it.
However, you can't complain because it keeps everything nice and warm because it's paying you the most.
Exactly. So you can't really be too mad at it.
Also, it's also good to have those because it's like if it's like I got to really focus on this song because we don't play it much, but there's this one we play every night. It's just autopilot
Yeah, that's true. And then also, people might hear that one song from you, go to a concert, and leave
for
that
the one
concert
song.
with you never know, man.
Yeah.
You never know. People out here crazy spending money.
Yeah.
You know that stimulus check about to hit. But maybe that they're like, oh, this is the one song I like. I'm gonna just go whatever, and they might leave that show with two more songs that they like.
That's true.
You ever?
It's always true.
Because you've ever been like listen to an album and you know the songs you're gonna listen to. You know what I mean? Like you know these are my favorite songs, and then one day you're just chilling, and for some reason you let the next song play, and you're like, this is actually kind of lit. Like this is kind of dope.
Yeah,
So
I was like that with the Last Weekend album, After Hours. I was like,
yes.
I knew the ones that were on the radio, and then I sat and listened to the whole thing, and I'm like, this was sick.
Yeah. Always happens. Always happens. You always find another song that you're always like, at least one or two that you'll be like, this is nice. Like, why doesn't this get played on the radio?
It's like the hidden track on there that it's like nobody listens to this. This is the best one on it.
Exactly.
It's not even popular.
So I know you're a big Metallica fan.
Yeah, I mean
that's right there, right behind you. Would you say that's your number one band?
In terms of me just listening, probably. But in terms of writing, it's kind of shifted. At first I felt like I was trying to copy them a bit.
Okay.
But now I fell into more of like taking other influences in.
And like mashing them all up together.
Yeah, so it's like a Frankenstein of like 3 different people.
That's kind of far though. So what would you say are your top influences?
Well, if we're like Metallica easily, because they probably the reason I started playing, specifically their lead guitarist Kirk. Yeah, that dude's always, I think no matter what, solo wise, he'll always be my like major hero for that.
Yeah, I remember seeing, I forgot what documentary it was. We watched it in high school, and I was like, this guy is fucking crazy.
That might have been the Black Album one. I thought that was like their first documentary they did.
I'm not even sure what documentary it was. You know what? I have a computer right in front of me, and we're gonna look it up. Because now I kind of want to know.
If they all have long hair, it's 91. That's all I can tell.
Yeah. Let's see. Um, some kind of monster.
Oh, that one. Oh, well, that's when they almost broke up.
Yeah, that's what it was
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
That
yeah.
one was like you see what it looks like when people fight, and
Yeah, I
it's
forgot
like
what.
the marriage breaking up.
I couldn't even tell you what class we watched it for, but we watched it for some class in high school. I was like, this
Yeah.
band is kind of dope. And I never really listened to
Yeah.
Metallica. Like I would listen to a song here and there because grew up a wrestling fan, so they would always show up.
Oh, that's right. They did.
Like
do
their
that.
songs would show up like in video
Yeah.
games or entrance music. So that's how I would listen to their songs. That's how I got into music. Like I was listening to whatever was the
In the
theme song of the
Yeah.
pay-per-view and was like, oh, this is a dope song. And then that's how I started finding artists. Like I'll be
Yeah.
straight up, and even video games. Like you played
Yeah.
video games. I think the first video game that I was like, this soundtrack's crazy, that I started looking for artists was maybe like NBA Live 03, 04, one of those two. And then like it was mostly like hip hop, so that's why I got into it first. And then it wasn't until the wrestling game SmackDown versus Raw that they just started coming with the hits, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe I mess with rock music. Like this is dope. Like,
Yeah.
but so go ahead. What are your three top bands? Like your influences?
So Metallica, Alice in Chains, and then this I guess it counts. It's kind of like a like it shouldn't count, but the guitarist from Alice in Chains, Jerry Cantrell, his solo stuff he did,
Okay.
that had a huge impact on me. So
I gotta listen to Alice in Chains. I've heard of the
you
band.
probably have heard Man in the Box.
There we go. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I could
Those,
see the influence.
Those first two albums are like peak. So like those are the ones that I think hit me the most.
Those are like those are the spotlight for you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel like every band and artist have their like classic album, and it's usually maybe it's their first album
or the third
or third. It's never the second album. Why is that? Do you know why?
Well, it's like that with movies too. It's usually 2 or 3 that's the best in the series. But it's like I think it's like because you peak by then. It's like the people who are together, it's like you've really gelled by then.
I always feel like the second album for anybody is always the worst album. In my opinion. I feel like it never reaches that classic, like compared to either the first one or any other one. But usually the third one is the bounce back, and it's considered a classic because the second one is kind of trash. You know what I mean? I don't know why it is, but it's like they call it the curse of the sophomore album. Never knew why.
Because it wasn't like that with Alice. Like Dirt is arguably their best album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was their second release.
And maybe it's just certain people. Maybe it's just certain people that have that curse.
Interesting. I never thought about that.
Because I know like a lot of the artists I listen to, if you look at their second album is usually their weakest. But also
you never think though.
The genre, maybe.
That, or do you ever think maybe it's like they wrote all of it at the same time and they put the weaker stuff on the second one?
Ooh, that's very true. That could be true.
Because then they were able to pump them out.
Yeah, but why would you even?
Why not mix them in?
Why would you put them all together though?
Yeah, why not mix them up?
Mix them between the two. What? Let's just do it. Let's just do it.
But it's like we gotta get these out.
Yeah, but it's not even that they're bad albums. It's just weaker compared to all the rest. But then that might also be, like I said, the genre of music that I listen to, because we listen to two different. Like I know you listen to everything. I also listen to everything, but I'm mostly hip hop and rap, and you're mostly rock. So maybe it's just a hip hop thing. Maybe it's just like the second album's just like, I'm gonna pass on this.
Wasn't it like that with Eminem too, where it's like his second album was like worse than the first, or was it the first was bad?
I think it was that his second one was worse. But then also it's not even that it's worse, it's just people compare it
Yeah.
to the first one
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit, he got 11 albums? What the fuck? All
I
right,
didn't even realize it was
so
that many.
let me see. Let's see. His first one, I don't even count that. It says his first album was Infinite.
Oh, that's like that demo tape. Yeah.
It says sales in the US 1,000.
Yeah. Okay.
What am I counting that? Come on. What you thought this was?
I don't even think that's on iTunes, that album.
No shot. That shit says it only came out on cassette. Yeah. Only cassette.
It's a demo tape as of that point.
Come on. Get that cassette tape real quick. Real quick. Let me see what this second album has. Let's look at the track list, because now I'm gonna tell you the track list and we're gonna give it a review. Okay, here we go. Track listing. There were 18 songs on this album.
Damn.
Public Service Announcement was the first song. Okay. Kill You. Kill You. Okay, Stan was on this.
Oh, that was a good one.
Stan was on this. A skit played. Another skit played. He had 2 skits. Oh no. Who Knew was in between the 2 skits. The Way I Am. Okay. Okay. The Real Slim Shady.
Oh, that's
okay.
Okay.
Remember Me. I'm Back. Marshall Mathers. Another skit. Drug Ballad. Amityville. Bitch Please 2. Kim. By the way, have you heard the song Kim?
Yeah.
That shit.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy. Under the Influence and Criminal. Yeah, I would say this was a weak album compared to the first one. Like, of course, he had the hits. He had Stan, Real Slim Shady, and The Way I Am. But for 18 songs, and 3 of them are like, I would say 3 of his biggest songs, but still wasn't like a strong album.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe it's just rap. Or maybe just the way I look at it. That could be just me with my critique eye. Now I'm just like, this shit's fucking trash compared to everything else. Because I could even say that about maybe can I say that about my favorite artist, Nas? Yeah, I could say that about Nas. I could say that about Nas because his first album's just a classic. The second one wasn't bad. It just compared to the first one wasn't what it was supposed to be.
That's true. I mean, with the pressure and everything. So
exactly, yeah, that plays a big part onto it, because
and any label pressure too. If they're like, you got to get this out in 2 months,
exactly,
they rush you.
Because I feel that, like, even with a band that has nobody backing them, like, let's say you start the band, right? Yeah. You get the band together, you put out a song, it gets good views, right?
Yeah.
That puts pressure on you now that the next song got to get. You actually put the pressure on yourself because you're like,
oh God, they're gonna.
Yeah, you want to be like, I want this song to get the same amount of views. I want it to get the same amount of love than this song got. You know what I mean? So it's actually artists putting pressure on themselves.
Well, thank God I got 18 over here on my phone.
Yo, you see?
All right, let's just go through the how many people listen to what's the second most listened? We'll just go with that one.
Nah, but I'm telling you, people put pressure on themselves for no reason. Yeah. That's like even with this podcast. Like I try not to look at the views because I know it's not a lot. I just started out.
Yeah.
But one day somebody will find it. It'll get a following and all that other shit. So I feel like that's the same with music. That's why like artists would put out so much music, and then when it's actually a good thing when you find them late, or not even late, but when they have a good amount of music behind them, because you find the one song you like and then it's like, oh, you like this song? well, here's 50 more
Yeah.
songs that they have. You know what I mean? It's kind of
Yeah.
sucks when you find a artist early or a band early, and
But
it's like, yo, I like this song. It's like, cool. Here's two others.
early on, at least you're
You're a
there
day one
in the
fan.
club. You're in the club
Exactly.
days. You're seeing them
Exactly.
10 feet away from you.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Doesn't beat that, because then you could be there and say to everyone else who came after, well, I was there.
Yeah.
Like,
But like
bragging rights.
you should have been there, man. And
It was wild.
in that bar with 10 people, shit was lit.
Exactly.
Do you get nervous like if you were to perform in front of people?
The one and only time I've ever done that was when, what was it? The talent show that Terrier TV did at school.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That thing. It was like 20 people, like the people in the back, the people on the out front on the cameras or whatever. So like they were watching me. And then the lights are really hot, so that's the worst. Yeah.
Oh my god, you don't need to tell me that. God. That shit's the worst.
It's the worst.
And
especially when you're trying to hold the pick. I'm like, it's getting slippery.
And it's mad small, yeah.
Yeah. It does not help. But I mean, I felt nervous, and I kind of became a statue while playing, but I'm like, I hit the notes with only like 2 flubs. And that was because my hands were sweaty from the lights. So I really just slipped a couple times, but that was,
it wasn't nothing major. Yeah, it wasn't nothing like, okay, fuck.
Yeah. But
Girl was like, say, yo, get this guy out of here.
So did you say that? I found that afterwards. There was a part in the song where there's just a piano playing. So I'm standing there for like 20 seconds doing nothing. And he said in the back, he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Dance?
Yeah, he's something else, man. You gotta love that guy. You gotta love that guy. I remember I was doing something for my directing class, and I finished it, and he was like, "Do you like it?" I was like, "Yeah, it's good." How did it go? He was like, "Do you like it?" I was like,
"Oh my god,
I loved it." I was like, "What do you think?" And then again he said, "Do you like it?" I looked at Ryan and said, "We're gonna do this again," just because I was like,
and then tripping you up.
And then the second time I knew this was David was his guy. David was his guy, and for my luck, David was on the cameras. I said, David, I went into him. I said, David, I'm going to act like I'm telling you stuff. Like we're going to like just whisper to each other. You pick whatever you think is the best camera to pick, and it's all good. So I did the countdown, the action, and it starts happening. I'm just like this over to David. And I'm not even saying a word, but I'm hyping him up because he'll move the camera. I was like, that's a good move. And just act like I'm talking to him. And then I looked at him after it finished. I said, was that good? He said, did you like it? I said, I love it. He said, okay, next. I was like, let's go.
Oh my god.
So that guy, he's great. I just had to get that story out there because
that's funny as hell, though.
He's amazing. But I could see him just watching you on the screen, like, on top of me,
crossed,
but he's not even doing anything.
It's like, what do you want? You know what's funny is in the recording, you can see I went to look up, and then I saw the camera because there's the TV screen. I saw my face come up on there because they zoomed in all the way, and I was like, nope, I'm looking down now. I don't want to see.
Why would you even do that?
Yeah, right.
Who's working the camera?
Like, nope. No,
that was your one and only time being in front of people.
I mean,
like performing.
I've played in front of like friends or family, but it's like,
but it's not like, it's like friends and family. It's like, let me just bring out the guitar. It's nothing like, these are my peers.
People I don't know.
Yeah. It's
it's like I do a double shot and I'm ready to go.
Yo, that's the way to go. That's the way to go,
nerves.
Bro. Yeah.
Just go with it.
Because I always look at, especially like people in bands, because you're playing together. Yeah. Like if you fuck up, it's over. You know what I mean? Like you fuck up, everybody's gonna fuck up because it's just not in sync. You know what I mean?
What I've seen and learned from some video footage, it's like where it's like you messed up, but you either stop and regather yourself or you just keep going.
Okay,
It's like,
gotcha.
don't make it as obvious. Like, I mean, obviously, if you have to reset yourself,
Don't
you
just
just do
fuck
it.
up and be like,
Yeah,
yo, my bad. Like,
yeah.
that was my fault.
Yeah.
Just keep
You
going.
just keep going. I've seen in some videos where it's like the dude, like, they drop their pick, they just stop playing for a second, grab it, go back to
Yeah.
playing, or like get string breaks, they pull it off, hand it off to the tech, get
Which
another
is
one, put it back on.
crazy that they
Yeah,
just have guitars on deck,
yeah,
ready and tuned up. Which
yeah,
shout out to them. People
yeah.
people that work concerts that like I don't even know what
Set
would you
up
call them,
everything.
like
I think they call them
roadies?
roadies. Yeah,
Yeah, like
you get
shout
the
out to the
sound people,
roadies.
not just them, but the sound people, the people who put
Yo,
the stage together,
the
the people who
lighting
make
and
it
all
sound good, lighting.
everything.
Uh,
Nobody gets the love except for a band. But even
yeah,
like you said, even like the big bands, it's gonna fuck up. Everybody
yeah.
fucks up. Nobody's
It happens.
perfect
Sometimes you just
24/7.
forget. It
And
happens.
yeah,
There's
that's a
stuff I
fact.
know how to play. Like I've played it a million times, and some days I'll be like, "Huh?
Hold
I
up.
forgot. I forgot what I was playing. Like I mess up."
Yeah. That's crazy, especially that like you,
Yeah,
but I feel you because it'd be times like when I cut hair, and
yeah,
I'll be doing the same cut that I do every time that client comes in, and
yeah.
then just that day I'll do one thing, and then I'll be like, wait, what? Oh shit, yeah, this goes next. Thank God it's not like I'm just standing there for like
uh,
minutes and makes it awkward, and they're
yeah.
like, "Yo, you good?" I'll just be like, a couple seconds, be like, "Wait,
It's like the brain dies for a second.
oh, this is what you exactly. You got like a brain fart moment. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot what to do for a second."
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that. I mean, like sometimes it's also where I just like you're off. It's like you're off that day. Some
Yeah.
days, like when I'm on point, I'm like really on point. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I recorded all of this. This was way too good.
have Have you ever thought about recording yourself singing?
Oh, I've messed around with it in the past, but it's like I need like somebody to teach me what I'm doing because I don't know what I would be doing with my
What do you mean?
voice. Like I would do, I would rather do backing vocals. Like
Okay.
Alice in Chains thrives on harmonies with the vocalist. I want to do like the Jerry's vocals or like just like I could do those. I'm like, oh, those are normal. They're
Yeah.
not crazy. I want to do just like if I could just backing harmony stuff.
Okay. I feel you. You would never try to be like, you would never try and
No,
do the lead. Why
nah,
not?
that's not for me. I want to play my guitar. It's too much split focus.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, have you
Yeah,
ever tried to do it? And like, is it tough playing guitar and singing?
it depends. If you know the song,
I know it's gotta be a fucking
it
struggle.
yeah. Oh, it is like I mean some rhythms are really hard, but it's like if you know the song like by heart, it's not as I don't at least for me it wasn't that much harder to sing over top of it
Yeah.
if I knew it, if I know it very well.
Okay.
Also if it's an easy rhythm, it makes it easier.
Gotcha. I always felt like that was just tough, like
Yeah.
multitasking. And it's like
Yeah.
you're using two of your skills
Yeah.
at
And you're
once.
splitting your brain into two different focus areas
Exactly.
like
And
okay, the
it's
lyrics that come next, the notes that come next.
yeah, like one video that I always love. Like I have the DVD of it.
Yeah.
I've had it for a while because DVD. But was the Nirvana Unplugged,
Oh,
and it's like, bro, these aren't even your songs. And
yeah.
like you're playing them like nothing. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, ah, yeah, fuck it. Where she slept
Yeah.
last night. Like, ah, fuck it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's crazy to me, especially that it wasn't his songs that
Yeah.
he can just like no problem. But even if it is your songs, like
Yeah.
and doing
Well,
it every night is crazy.
it's like if you wrote it, it's like more muscle memory. Like the stuff I've written, I don't play it. Like I don't really play it much. I
Yeah.
should, so I know it, but I vaguely when I pick it up to play it, I vaguely know what I'm doing. And if I go to like even just speak over it, I can still play it and speak. And I think it's just because my brain knows what to do because I
Yeah.
came up with it.
Exactly. And that you've practiced it so
Yeah.
much. Because I feel like even when I've seen like videos of bands together just
Yeah.
recording it like in the little circle all in the same room, and it's like, oh, this is a new song, and they're playing it and singing at the
Yeah.
same time. And it's like you also got to think about all the times that they've practiced this with
Yeah.
like probably this like they probably have the same chords and stuff written, but probably change the words or maybe shift it a bit.
Mhm.
but they've practiced it so much while writing the song. Because what would you say goes first, chords or song? Like the
Like
lyrics.
lyrics. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I've come up with everything, no lyrics. I don't know how to write lyrics or anything like that. How to write like to the song, like, oh, you would sing it like this. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
that. Everything I've
Okay.
done is just the guitar stuff, the rhythm stuff.
Got you.
So
I feel
this is
like
doable.
writing the music first and then the lyrics is the
Yeah.
easiest way to go, because then
Yeah.
you just have to fit in the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's tough to write
Because you
lyrics
can hear
down.
the melody sometimes of
Yeah, and that's
I can't hear that. I don't know how people figure that out.
some people
But
don't have the ear.
yeah.
Some people have that ear. I mean, like,
Yeah. They can hear the voice over
yeah,
it, the
that's
vocals.
like here. You
Yeah.
gonna put it here? All right, cool. But like, it's easier to do that than write a song and be like, hey, I wrote this song, but after this it should go like this, and after this it should go like this, and it's like, that's kind of, I feel like that's a tougher way
Yeah.
to write music, like to write a
Yeah.
song, to write the lyrics first and then the music. So it makes sense to do the music first.
Yeah, because it's like I feel like most people like I think like Stairway to Heaven, if they're not embellishing the story, apparently Jimmy Page just kept playing the acoustic over and over again, and then Robert Plant just started singing the lyrics to it over top.
Kind of
Like
fire. Yo, that's kind of fire. But like, yo, if he's gonna just keep playing this, let me come up with some lyrics to
yeah.
it.
But it's like if you listen to it by itself, I'm like, I don't even know where you're getting like the vocal like melody, like how to sing
Yeah.
it like that. It's like how?
Yo, I'm telling you, some people have that ear and they're like, yo,
Yeah.
I can do this. I can. That's why we don't do that, bro.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do
I'm
that.
like, all right, you do that. I'll do this stuff. You can just sing on it. There we go.
Exactly.
I don't know how to do
Exactly.
this.
Like, I've always wanted to meet somebody that
Yeah.
writes like lyrics and be like,
Yeah.
yo, how do you
How do
even
you do
like
it?
do this? And then some people just make shit up and it's like, yo,
Yeah.
did this like story happen to you? Nah, it was just a cool story, made it up. It's
Yeah.
like, the
Come
fuck?
on, just say it was real.
Yeah, just why are you killing the illusion like that?
Some of them you hear, they just like listen to it and then they go in their head and they just start writing what comes out. And I'm like, how?
I wish I had
Like,
that skill.
go write a book. You could probably write a book too.
Yes, yo, that's another thing. I don't know how people write books.
Yeah, right.
Like, I remember when I was in college, like maybe freshman, sophomore year, I was like, yo, I want to write a book one day. And then like now I look back at it, I was like, that was a stupid ass comment. But it was like, yo, I want to write a book one day. And now I look at
Oh
it
my
and it's like,
God.
yo, books are like,
It's work.
to write even 100 pages is a fucking like, it's work.
Well,
And you look at like those fucking Harry Potter books
that's what I was thinking of.
and like the detailing of shit that they go into, and it's like, yo, these shits are like 600 pages.
Well, think about the dude who did Game of Thrones. He came up with like all these backstories and these families for these people.
Bro, don't even get me started.
I know. The ending still gets me mad.
You want to hear something crazy? I think I've told you this. I never saw the whole thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I saw season 1, and once they killed him, I said, this ain't for me. I said, you killed the main character, homie. How you gonna but they made you think he was the main character. And I was like, how you gonna just kill him? End of season 1 and then expect me to tune in season 2? You wild. And then the last season happened and I watched it with my sister. I had her give me like a breakdown of like everything that happened. I was watching it. I was like, I feel like I didn't miss much. But then she said the same thing. She said
it was so trash.
Yeah, she said it was a bad season. But I looked at it, I was like, I hear all this hype about this show, and this shit wasn't even like that crazy. And then there was one episode that it was like the battle.
Yeah.
That they must have filmed that shit with a camera phone because
it was so dark.
So fucking dark. We had to shut off the light in the living room because of it. It was like, bro.
And I was like, huh? Squinting the whole time. I'm like, what is happening?
Yo, your budget is insane. You have dragons flying why they around.
Did it. I hear they did it because it was the CGI. They were like, we don't have to pay as much into the CGI then on the dragons in the night.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
But
They,
then on top of that,
I feel like they didn't give a fuck the last season.
they,
Like
they didn't. It
like
was
they
terrible.
even left the Starbucks cup on the table.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't
But
give
then it
a
was like
fuck.
also the big bad monster they built up for like what over a decade. They're like, oh yeah, he just dies like a punk. He's a punk bitch.
Yo, that show. I remember the last episode, and my sister was
I was
just like,
mad.
she was like, "That's it." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, Hobie, I guess so." Like,
Oh, I was tight. I was watching it. I think I was on my phone with my friend when I saw it, and I was just like, yo, this was trash. I'm upset. I wasted all that time watching this for
yeah,
that.
like it was a bad ending. It was a bad ending. I feel like that a lot of shows have that too.
Yeah.
That, and also it's on them because they build
Yeah.
up the expectation because it's such a good show,
But
and
it's
then
like
their last season's just like,
yeah, but
here you
then you
go.
get like the fans put their theories out there and they're like, oh, this is really good. Why don't you just take what they did and be like, yep, that was the plan all along? Like,
yeah,
that's what you should do.
yeah, that show.
Awful.
But
Awful.
but would you say they had a bad season before that? Was there ever like a bad season?
Well, people said 6 and 7 were already going downhill, but it was tolerable.
Yeah.
And then 5 I thought was trash just because it was boring.
Okay.
1 through 4 were pretty good. And then 5 through 8 it just like started to fall off.
The first season was dope. The first season I watched was dope. And I was like, yo, this is a cool show.
Yeah.
Killed my son. I was like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this. What was
it's
his
a
name?
Show of death. It's like, let's just kill everyone.
Yeah, it was like
I don't even remember the names. That's how much I hated it. At the end, I was just like, get out of my brain. I don't want to know nothing anymore.
Yeah, like I'm over it. Have you ever have you rewatched it?
Nope, I refuse. Never again. Because it's like there's no payoff. The payoff isn't there. It's like, what's the point?
If you watch it again, just skip the last season.
It's not worth it. It's like
just have it end.
It's not worth it.
As season 7?
I could just go watch Lord of the Rings. At least it ends fine.
Yeah, that is very true. Man, but yeah, shows like that piss me off because it's like you had so much potential. You started off hot and then just like went downhill.
Right down.
And you can say that with a lot of shows. A lot of shows have done that, whether they're action, dramas, comedies. Usually they're good. There's a few that I would say you're solid.
Like
throughout.
Breaking Bad was solid the whole way through.
Want to hear something crazy?
What?
Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Really?
Never seen it. Watched the first episode. That was like 2 hours. Remember the first episode was like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It was long.
I watched it on Netflix when it was still up. I don't even know if it's still.
It's still
Netflix.
there. Yeah.
It's still there. Maybe I have to give it a try.
It starts slow because by like season 3, I think the first 2 are kind of slow compared to 3. When 3 goes, it's like full speed ahead.
Okay. Me and my sister tried watching it. We were like, hell, you know what? Put it on. We'll try it out. Like it was. I think the show was just about to end. Like the last season was about to start, and we were like, yo, let's watch it. And then before this last season starts, and we'll catch up and try and watch the last season because it was so much hype around it.
Yeah.
Bro, we put on the first episode and we're watching it. Next thing I remember, I'm out. We're both out. We wake up. Episode 5 is on. I'm like, yo.
What just happened?
What the fuck? And I was just like, yo, you know what? After that, I've never tried it again. Just the first episode put me to sleep, and I was like, I don't even want to try. Like, it's tough for me to even try, but also back then, like, I even forgot what year that was. But
that was
like
2015, it finished.
Yeah, because it was in my senior year. I was just like, you know what? Never went back to it. And now I think about it, I'm like, I should probably go back to that show.
Oh my God.
And give it a try, especially that, like you said, it was solid throughout.
Yeah. And then they did the movie to wrap it up as like a nice little epilogue.
They did a movie to end it up?
Yeah.
That's kind of dope. In the end. That's lit. I got you. You know what? This conversation might have brought me back to try and watch Breaking Bad. I was gonna say try and finish, but try and watch because I gave it that first episode. Also, we started it late, like on a Saturday night, so
It's like
I'll
the
give
worst
that
time.
too. Yeah, I'll give that too. But yeah, I fell out. I fell out.
Yeah.
I was like, this might not be for me.
Yeah, that first season's like I think a bit. It's a little on the slower side because it's like it's establishing everything still, and then the second one it picks up a bit, and then by season 3 it's like the train is going like nonstop. It's going.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's full speed by then.
Got you. So we went off topic
Yeah,
with the
very.
shows and shit. But with the music stuff. So this is was there a time that you were like, yo, being a like I can do this for a job? Has that ever come into your mind? Did that come in
uh,
during quarantine that you were like, you know what, this would be sick?
it started like a year before that. Like, what is
Like your
that?
senior year?
What year are we in?
We are
2021.
21, yeah.
It was not 20, not like the end of 18. That's when I like wrote my first stuff, and I was like, okay, cool. And then
This could be a thing.
19, yeah. And then when 19 hit, that's when like more stuff started to develop, and I was like, I kind of want to do this if I can. I would like. I'm young enough that it's like if I was presented the opportunity, just gonna jump and go for it because I got nothing to lose at this age.
Yeah. It's
So,
one of those things that is just
yeah.
like, and then it's also a thing that you don't want to look back at and be
regret.
like, yeah, and be like, I
Yeah.
should have, or I could have done this.
A lot of the feedback I've gotten too for certain ones, I'm like, and like you can usually tell, like some of them, I'm like, yo, this is definitely like the hit type one.
Yeah.
And I've heard the same stuff from some people, so I'm like, there's something there.
No, you're definitely. It sounds dope. Because I remember the day you put it out, I think it was Manny that hit me up. And he said, you know, Nick's been recording music? I was like, no, I did not know that. He said, look at his Instagram right now. Went to your Instagram and saw it. I was like, oh, shit. He was like, yo, and it's good. I was like, oh, I got to listen to this. I got to listen to this. So, like, you're getting good feedback from people.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing a lot of more acoustic-y stuff, but that's because of the Alice in Chains influence. I wanted to do some of that stuff.
Got you.
So I'm touching on that a bit now. It's also like that way you don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing.
Yeah.
It's like I can do what I want to do. Nobody can tell me I have to be stuck with one thing.
Yeah, like you don't have to have that one sound.
Yeah.
You can have your songs that sound like Metallica, your songs that sound like Alice in Chains. Have your soft or your hardcore music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's funny too. Is like, oh damn it! It's one of those moments where I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. You have one group of songs where it's I remember now what I was gonna say. There, now it spurred my memory. The tone, like I record everything directly into GarageBand on like because it's like I don't have mics to mic my amp up, so it'll sound like shit if I try to record my amp.
Okay.
And it sucks because my amp sounds amazing, but this is also convenient because I'm able to record a rhythm track, go back, layer more stuff on it in another track. It's just more convenient right now. So it's like it's not like it's just I found a tone that works in GarageBand and I just stuck with that for it. However, it's not really how it sounds kind of. You can tell it's processed. You can tell it's like not real. You can tell it's an artificial
it's not
sound.
Real. Nah, I feel you.
Yeah. So.
But like, have you thought about like right now? How many songs would you say you have on SoundCloud?
Like, most of them, I think there's only a few I haven't put out yet because they're not done.
Okay, because that was gonna be my next question. Do you plan on like putting more out and getting that sound out there? Because you never know, maybe that one person will hear it and be like, if they have a band or trying to start a band and they're like, yo, this guy does everything. Like, we can really use him.
I mean, it's just like I would love to really just use my amp because I think it's a good sound I have in it. I just can't because it's the fact it's so hard to like record. Like even putting my phone next to it, it's still like it gets the phone just gets too much of the bass from it.
Yeah.
It's not getting the
I
real
guess
sound.
like that. It gets like that screechy sound.
Yeah, and it picks up too much on the hum from it, so it's like I have to record right into the computer. So
gotcha.
I keep doing that, and then just when I feel they're done, I just put them out. Like one is like I have one that I'm sitting on that's like done. I have to re-record the solo, but I also get lazy with plugging things in. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it right now.
It's like, I feel you, because there'll be times that like you're just sitting around and you're really doing nothing and you got free time, but you don't want to do anything. You're just like, do I really want to get up and plug all this stuff in?
Yeah.
Just to do one little thing and then take it off.
Yeah.
Like
and
I remember,
then sit on it and listen back to it. Well, it's also good. I haven't heard it in a while, so there's that.
Yeah. Because also you have that fresh ear, even though it's your music.
I don't
haven't heard it. Yeah, exactly. Haven't heard it in a while. Because I bet if you listen to stuff that you recorded, let's say at the beginning of quarantine or even before that, you'll have a new ear to it and be like, oh wow, like I could probably change this, or maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
Have you listened back to any of your stuff?
I do it every like few months just to hear it, and then I always hear them like with the, or like I said, the early stuff. I'm like, I can pinpoint like 3 or 4 songs that like, if they were to be officially released, there's a lot that needs to be changed with them. Like one I went and it's like really long. Like it ended up being 9 minutes. I didn't want it like that, but it was just like
it just happened.
It just happened because it was mostly like I had one thing and then I just took like, I have these 3 leftover things I have nothing to do with and I just crammed them in there.
Okay.
So it's more like maybe it needs to self-edit on it.
Okay, I feel you.
I'm not going to take it down and re-upload it right now, especially when it's just a guitar track. I'm not going to go rework it right now.
Yeah.
However, somebody else would do it. Yeah. If I'm with people, then at least it's like we can rework it together. That one.
And then it'll be one of those things that you'll hear the song and be like, oh wow, yo, you know what? I feel like he has something similar to this on SoundCloud. You know what I mean? It'll be like, oh shit. But I feel you, because I'll tell you straight up, I hate listening to my shit back, listening to interviews and stuff. Even when I edit it, hate it. Right now I got Nick Aries helping me. So he's helping me edit it and stuff because he's fucking killing it in the editing game. So he's helping me out. But when I first started it, I was just like, yo, listening to myself back, or even when we would do like those senior projects, and it would just be like, you gotta edit this. And it's like, oh man, this is the fucking worst. And you hear your own voice, or like in your case, something that you worked on and you really don't want to listen to it back, but you have to work on it.
Well, it's funny. I don't mind it as much because I don't have to hear my voice. If I was hearing my voice, I'd be more, but like some of them I could listen to and I'm like, man, I'm proud of this one. like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like one of the last ones I put out, I don't want to say it's my favorite thing I did, but it's like top 5.
Okay.
I don't even remember which one name wise or whatever, but it was just like solo wise, it was like what I think I was trying to do on an earlier track, solo wise, and then I just really liked the other stuff and I did in it.
Okay.
It was one of those things.
That was one of those things that you were just like, ooh, kind of like try to do it earlier, but kind of perfected it here.
Yeah.
Sounds lit.
Yeah.
Like, sounds dope.
Yeah. Well, because like the first song I ever did on there, well, they happened at the same time. I think The Great Dreamer, that one I had one part of it sitting around for a long time, and then the other stuff I came up with, and then another bit came onto it later. That one was like one of the first ones that got finished like 2 years after I came up with it.
Okay.
And then The Gaze of the Abyss, that one's like always been like a favorite just because of the harmonies I did in it on the guitar.
Yeah.
That to me was the best I'll ever do it. Like I thought that I was like, that's it. That's like, the best it'll be.
You're like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try again. This is it.
Yeah, it was like the best harmony thing I ever did. I remember when I go and listen to it because it's on SoundCloud. I don't have it on my phone. I just go on there to hear it.
Yeah.
I see, oh, there's one comment. Every time I look at it, it's Manny's comment saying, yo, this was a fucking journey.
Yo. Yo, this was a fucking journey. That might be the comment of the year, man. That's awesome, though. And it's nice that you try and outdo your other songs. Some people just try to do something different, but you're actually like, yo, you know what? I can make this better. I can change this up and make it
Yeah.
sound newer, refreshed, and better, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
kind of like that because it's like I'm still in that song. I might love the harmonies in it, but the solo, I'm kind of like it works because it's the only thing that will work for it because that's all that has worked for it. I've tried
yeah,
a million. I have like 12 different demos for that song, a bunch of
really,
different solos. They're just this is the only one that
nothing
works
fit.
other than this one, and I'll never be really fully happy with it. That's the crazy thing. Is that
Really,
solo? Yeah, yeah. It's
that's
one of those.
crazy.
Maybe it's just
And
because it's recorded differently. It was like my first time doing it, so the sound is different.
yeah, because maybe if you did it more and more and like
Uh,
practiced it, or even
yeah,
like squeaked a thing or two
yeah,
about it, and then actually was like, yo, you know what? I'm proud
yeah.
of this shit. Like,
I mean, it'll get reworked eventually.
oh, of
So
course. And I feel like that's the only way to
yeah,
progress, to always work on things. Like, never
yeah,
leave them just like, oh, this is
yeah,
done. Like, nothing's ever done unless
yeah,
it's out to the
yeah,
world by like a fucking record label. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
But even then, is it done? Because when you're playing it live,
You
maybe
can always
5 years playing it,
improvise.
you change it at some point because you got bored of the part.
That is true. That is true. So
So
it couldn't,
yeah,
it might
it would
be
also
true.
help
Nothing's
having
really never
drums.
done.
Just having a drummer over it, because then it's like sometimes it's like I want to follow what a drum thing is doing.
Yeah.
I can't do that unless I have a drummer.
Got you. So maybe, yeah, maybe once you start filling in the pieces
Yeah,
and
I'll
it'll
be able to redo it
exactly,
better. I'll know what to
exactly.
do.
And maybe you have
Yeah.
that ear that once you hear the other instruments, you'd be like, yo, you know what would fit in great right now? And then
Yeah.
it'll just come to you.
Yeah. Or like sometimes like if somebody maybe can hear, they're like if they hum it out for me, they'll be like, you know, it would sound good this, and then they hum it, and then I can play it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know, man. Get
Uh,
that fresh ear.
yeah.
It'd be dope. Have you ever found yourself when you're writing music? Have you ever found yourself like mimicking your favorite bands that you're like, "Ooh, this sounds like you said at the beginning, the Metallica sounds too much." Has there been a song that you're like, "Yo, they actually use this in a
oh,
song, and I just
oh,
caught myself using it"?
oh. Let me tell you this. So the one song that got really the one that has the most hits on it,
Yeah.
the main riff to it is literally straight off ripped off of two Metallica riffs that I Frankenstein together, but it works because they're I'm playing it different
Yeah.
enough that it's the same notes, but it's different enough that it's actually new.
Okay,
So I was like,
got you. But it's
oh, it's
actually,
okay.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
actually like the two put together.
Oh yeah. If I played for you at least one of them, you would hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that, wow.
It's that obvious, but it's like I'm playing more notes on it, so I'm like, it's safe. It's different enough.
it's 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 mine.
It's
It's
mine.
mine.
Yeah. It's
Because
different enough.
I forgot who else. I think it was a Lil Wayne interview, and he was like
Yeah.
that he's been doing it so long that now he has to like look up his own lyrics to make sure he hasn't said the line again, like he hasn't
Yeah.
said it already. And I'm like, yo, that's gotta be tough for somebody that,
Yeah.
especially who writes like music,
Yeah.
like not just lyrics, but making
Yeah.
sure that they don't sound like who they're influenced by. Like it's cool to sound like, oh, you could tell that they're influenced by it.
Yeah.
But when it's like, okay, I
Like a
feel
rip
like
off
this
almost.
was, yeah, like I feel like
Yeah.
this was actually this person's song just changed just a bit.
And I've heard that before with like some, I guess you would call them professional because they do it full time.
Yeah.
But I the thing is, saving grace with mine is it's close, but it's far enough off of it that it
Yeah.
is its own thing.
It's just different enough
Yeah.
for it to
It's
get
enough for it
passable.
to pass. Yeah.
Yeah. And you wouldn't, like you said, only a professional would be
Yeah.
like, yo, nah, like
Well, it's
don't
also
do
came
that.
from one of part of it came from a deep track where it's like nobody knows it.
Oh, so fuck
Like
it.
yeah, exactly.
So fuck it, man.
Yeah. It's
But
crazy.
like I always thought that was, now I know that it
Yeah.
happens because I always thought of that. I'm like, there's so many bands out
Yeah.
here that you gotta at least do something or at least make something, like write something and then like you're just listening to music and then hear it, because there's
Yeah.
only so much you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Because I'm like, there's this kid I know, he raps, and he
Yeah.
was like, yo, do you believe that I wrote like this verse? Like he was just typing it out. And then later that day, somebody introduced him to a new artist, like just like not introduced him like in person, but just like on YouTube, like, yo, you should really listen to this person. And he was like, one of the lines I had, he had it word for word. I was like, that's fucking wild. He said, I've never heard this guy,
Holy
never
shit.
heard the song. It's just, it was the
A
same
major
exact line.
coincidence like that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
and he was like, what was so scary about it was like, it's not even like just the one line. It was the two lines that actually rhymed together.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what happened? Great minds think alike. That's
Yeah.
what fucking happened.
It's funny you say that. One time in 6th grade that happened. There was a kid I was friends with. We handed in our homework that day. I got a call home like about like, yo, you guys had the same answer. And guess what? We never spoke to each other about it or gave each other the answer, but
Yo,
we wrote the sentence the same way.
yo,
The same
and
words, everything.
and that's happened so many. That's happened to me like twice, and it's only because they were wrong answers. And it's like, why are you even calling here for
Yeah,
a
it's
wrong
wrong.
answer?
It's already
Like, even if we
wrong.
cheated off of each other, we just gotta hold the L together. Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah, right. It's already wrong. What do you want?
exactly. Yo, but yo, thank you, my man, for hopping on
Yeah,
this call,
no
hopping on the
problem.
podcast. Been wanting to do this for a while,
Yeah.
trying to get together. It's midnight, so we had to do it. You feel me?
Yeah,
We got it done. But thank you for coming on.
no
Let the
problem.
people know where to find you.
Well, my Instagram, I think it's Nick Stropoli _97. I think something like
Yeah,
that.
I'll put it in this
Yeah,
description also. I'll tag you on
yeah. Oh, that
Instagram.
works. And then
And
I have my SoundCloud Wraith.
and it's also
Yeah.
it's in your link, or it's in your bio.
I think it is. Yeah, I think I put
If
it in my
not,
bio.
put it, and
Yeah.
once I tag you, go check out his music on
Yeah.
SoundCloud. Shit is dope. But thank you again, bro, for coming
No
on.
problem.
And thank you guys
Awesome.
for joining us on another episode of The Street Sheet. Go follow us on Instagram. Go subscribe anywhere podcasts can be listened to, and on YouTube. Thank you again, guys. See you next time.